Welcome back, my yogis. This is Yoga with Annie, and this is a restorative practice that will open up the hips. Go ahead and grab something comfortable to wear. You are going to need a bolster for this practice. If you don't have a bolster, you can use a blanket or a pillow, anything that you have at home to help prop yourself up. And I'll meet you on the mat. So once you've found your way to your mat, you're going to go ahead and grab that bolster and put it under your left knee. And you're going to step that right knee out in front. And so we're finding this kind of assisted low lunge here. And so you can bring the hands to start off with on the inside of that right foot. You're going to feel some intensity here on the left hip flexor. And we're going to take a couple breaths and start to allow your breath to deepen. You might feel a lot of intensity here, and that's normal. And as you deepen your breath, you might find that your body starts to relax around this shape a little bit easier. And as you begin to relax a little bit more, you might decide to bring the forearms down to the mat. You might even bring the forehead all the way down or to a block or another pillow that you have. We're going to take a couple more breaths. Each cycle of breath, truly allowing this feeling of letting go. And as you let go into the mat, it's like one layer of stress at a time that we start to release. And if you feel maybe the thoughts in your mind are on full volume right now, I invite you to close the eyes if that's the case. Bring your awareness inside and start to deepen the breath. So whatever story that voice inside your head is telling you, that's fine. And just come back to the breath. 3 more deep breaths here. And seeing how you can begin to deepen in this posture and relax around it so that we're not creating any more tension in the body. And when you're ready, very gently start to shift out. You're going to bring that right foot down. So we're going to find a 90-degree angle with that right leg. You're going to flex your right toes towards your shin. So we're finding a half frog posture. And so what you want to do is that you want to start to slide off that bolster. That's going to increase the intensity on that right hip. You can leave the hands or the forearms here. You might also play around with relaxing the crown of the head down. And wherever you decide to be, take a couple breaths and really breathe deeply into your right side, into your right hip flexor. Again, these are pretty intense postures. So when we say restorative, that doesn't necessarily mean easy, right? We're not moving around a lot necessarily. In restorative classes, you typically hold the posture a bit longer. But we are finding a lot of depth with the posture, and that's pretty intense. And so finding that intensity, we start to deepen the breath. And as you deepen the breath, it sends signals to the brain, it sends signals in your body that everything's okay. And so that's what makes it possible for us to find more flexibility, find a deeper stretch because the body gives in and it relaxes. And we breathe deeper and it relaxes some more. A couple more breaths. Deep belly breaths on the belly. Belly breaths on the belly. It's really good for anxiety. So if you have anxiety, lying on your belly and taking some deep breaths is a really good practice. 2 more deep breaths just because it feels good, just because we can. And when you feel complete, you always want to move slowly out of restorative postures, really out of any posture. You want to find a mindful transition. So very slowly start to bring that right knee back in. And we're going to shift to the other side. So you're going to bring your bolster to your right side, or whichever is your opposite. You're going to bring the knee to the bolster. And from here, step that left foot out. Adjust through your body. Again, it's going to take a second to get into it, right? So the hands are on the inside of that left foot, and you might even point the big toes out just slightly. And slowly start to allow the hips to come down. Take your time. Start to deepen the breath. Maybe you start out on your hands, and maybe you drop down to one forearm, then the other. Maybe it feels good to gently press on the inside of that left leg, or maybe it's way too intense. So you decide. We're going to find 8 breaths here to allow yourself to sink in. Allow the breath to deepen. And maybe you close the eyes and bring the awareness deeper inside. Maybe you start to scan the body and imagining yourself relaxing your jaw a little bit more. Relaxing through the shoulders a little bit more. Couple breaths. Send your awareness to your right hip flexor. And as you do, softening through the right hip flexor. And just sinking in. It's like we do one layer of stress at a time, we start to remove. And that's all yoga is, really. It's releasing the stress. The side effect might be some strength and flexibility, but really the main purpose is to find that calm within the mind and that calm within your spirit. Very gently, when you're ready, start to shift out. Again, you always want to move mindfully and slowly out of these postures. And from here, you're going to lie on the bolster. Bring that left knee up. Flex through the left foot. And you're kind of shifting your body to the side of the bolster so that you're almost falling off, right? That's going to create some opening through the hip. You might hang out here. You might drop down to your forearms. But really, in whichever way that you can, relax a little more deeply into the posture. That's what we want to do. If this hurts your knees, you can grab a blanket or another pillow and relax the knee there. Couple breaths. This is where all the real work starts, where you start to focus your mind and start to release those things that no longer serve you. And you truly start to allow your light to shine. Couple more breaths. Deep belly breaths here. Release any tension you have. Allow yourself to let go. If you want to intensify this, you can bring that left knee higher. You can flex that left foot more. You can even start to play around with extending out through the leg. We're going to open up the hips a little bit more here in a second. So when you're ready, using the hands to assist, start to shift out. Snap, crackle, pop a little bit, and then bring the bolster to the center. So we're going to move into a full frog posture here. So again, this can be very intense, so really just ease into it, but you're going to bring the knees out wide, and you're going to bring the bolster lengthwise. And from here, bring your big toes out, so you're flexing your feet, and you're going to relax your chest down on the bolster. And so again, we want to ease into this posture. So if you feel like that's pretty intense, it's because it is. And so take a couple deep breaths to relax into the posture. You might turn the head to one side as you relax a little bit more. And then this is where it starts. You just start to relax. You start to give into gravity. You might notice a lot of resistance in your body on this one, and that is totally normal. Just breathe. If that narrative in your mind is telling you that you can't do this isn't for you, just breathe through it and listen to your body. If you're feeling sharp pains, pains that you should be stepping back, then step back and enter again with the breath. But if it's just a lot of sensation, you might feel a little bit uncomfortable, just stick with it. Deepen your breath. In yoga, hip openers can cause a lot of emotional stuff to come up. So if that's coming up, again, that's totally normal. And breathe through it. Deep breaths to the belly, and exhale to let it go. It's all good. Well, I recommend that you hang out here for as long as makes sense for you. This is a really good hip opening posture. And the longer that you stay in it, obviously the deeper you're going to get. And the more you stay in it, you're going to get into the fascia, that type of thing. And so whenever you're ready, very gently start to shift out. Use the hands to assist. One knee comes in, then the other. And we'll bring the big toes together. And from here, recline over that bolster, taking a very nice restorative posture here. Find a little child's pose after. And relax. And whenever you're ready, start to shift out and take that relaxed feeling with you the rest of the day. It's always such an honor to be here with you guys. From my heart to yours. Namaste.